And it looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. It's been a while, but finally, we're back on screen.
It feels like it's been a while, actually. It's been a really busy, I think it's, to be fair to say, it's been a really busy kind of start to the year. We've had quite a lot of things to do. And I guess there's been a few holidays and things as well. And we've been aware that podcasts are something that we do need to put our time and attention into, and also to give everyone an update, really, in terms of what we're doing, how we're doing things, and what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, the end of last year was very hectic for us. We had a lot of distractions within the academy, but this year has been absolutely incredible in many, many different facets. There's so many things happening. We can't go into it all just yet because things will come out as and when they can. But just to let you know that we have new courses. We've got an in-person course in August, which we'll talk about. We've got an online course in September, which is coming out. But importantly, we've got the release of our first podcast series on all platforms called Sovereign Souls. That's recorded, it's being uploaded next week, and it will be released next week.
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting, really. Again, behind the scenes, there's been a lot of things going on. So Jonno and I do joke together, don't we, to be fair? And we always say it never ends. So whilst the outbound view might be that things have been quiet from an SRA perspective, we've been putting together a big roadmap of lots of courses. So one of the requests, I guess, from people was to get more time to look at the calendar, I guess, before courses were being run. Whereas in the past, we've kind of thought, okay, we can run a course, let's run it in 3 or 4 months, and then we've kind of released that. And the feedback from you guys was that we wanted, well, you wanted more time, really, even like a year in advance, so that you can plan things. And we've listened to that kind of feedback. And we've now got roadmaps in place. And if you go to the website, spiritreleaseacademy.com, you can see the course dates for online and in person. And we've also got a host of other courses that are now on there too.
And this is some of the things that make it so kind of tricky for us. Is because Andy and I have to manage our own businesses as well as drive and lead the academy going forward. So just for us to put on a foundation course takes months of work. But the foundation course is now being finished. That will be released in full next week. But you can go on there now. The foundation course is level 1 of our 3 levels certifications. Level 1 is not a practitioner. It doesn't entitle you to do the work under the academy, but it does give you all the theory and all the background knowledge that you require. If you want to dip your toe in, if you want to understand our work a little bit more, but not yet ready to be a practitioner, the foundation course is for you. That's ready and open now. You can go into that. It will be fed in also with the addition of 2 of our courses, which is the Introduction to Spirituality, as well as the Psychic Protection course. So you can go in there today and actually start and begin the process of walking through the foundation course 1.
Yeah, I think this is amazingly exciting, really, from our perspective, that we've now got to a point that we've got the IT infrastructure and architecture behind the scenes ready for self-service courses. So people can literally log in, can decide to do that course bundle that Jonno was talking about with 3 courses effectively. You can sign up today, you can pay today online, and 5 minutes later, you can basically start those courses. And that's really quite exciting from our point of view, because we've had a huge number of people interested in this type of work. And we all know that we need to do this work more than anything now, really, with the things that are going on this planet. The negative side needs to be pushed back, and we need practitioners that have the right level of integrity and are walking that path, as you tend to say, hear the call, basically.
Yeah.
So we're looking for people that are hearing the call, and we want to define a roadmap that kind of works. So the way things worked before, people would come in as practitioners and would be dropped into the level 2 course, which was quite a fast track training program. Whereas now we've got a very slow build up. So we've got this level 1 foundation where you can understand and learn about the things that we talk about, become very good at protection. The Introduction to Spirituality covers all the terminology, all the things that we talk about and how we talk about them. And it's a great place to start. And then at the end of that course, you may decide that this isn't for me, but it's certainly not been a waste from a spiritual path perspective. You'd have walked a long way along your spiritual path at the completion of those 3 courses. But if this is your calling, and you do think this is work for me, then obviously the level 2, either online or in person, is the next step, really.
And you don't need to do foundation 1 to be a practitioner level 2. You can come straight in at the level 2 section where you can come into the person training, whether it be online with us or whether it be face-to-face. Level 1 is purely for those who want to do the foundation and theory course. So if you do want to come in as a practitioner, we have our online course starting in September. We have a face-to-face, which is actually here in the castle. You'll come into Terry Towers and you'll sit where we sit in our work, and you'll do the face-to-face training with us too. So this is in August. We haven't got a lot of time, so if it is something that you're interested in, really get that email into us and we'll try and process it as quickly as possible for you. But we do have a few spaces left. It's going to be very personal training. It's going to be in the castle, and as always, it's going to be amazing seeing you come through and go through that transition into a practitioner. So if level 2 makes the appeal to you, if that's what you're feeling, that's our practitioner level now. It's important that we've got the 3 different levels, 1, 2, and 3. Level 3 is for people that have already done the practitioner course. They're already level 2. They've got a minimum of 12 months experience and they have a minimum case experience behind them. Level 3 is for people that really want to go out there and master the remote spirit release, the spirit guided remote spirit release course and protocol that we do. And we're going to bring other things into it too. It's going to include businesses, it's going to include land, it's going to include animals and pets. So the level 3 practitioner will be able to go through those protocols for their clients as well. But also from the level 3, we're looking for people to take the work on, not necessarily on behalf of the academy, but into sectors like mental health and other disciplines. So it's about exposing the work and about getting the work that we do as practitioners out into the fields where it's mostly required, really.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of dictate really from Terry. Obviously, as we all know, Terry is normally sat here or there, kind of sit on his lap, kind of in representation really when we kind of sit down. But we're always being driven from behind the scenes, and Terry wanted a few things sorted out. One was to have this podcast that goes out, we've called Sovereign Souls, as Jonno talked about, so we can start to reach a different audience really into that mental health sector primarily. And also, I think for the level 2 course, so the in-person course where people are flying here, we're kind of aware lots of people are fed back that they're a bit nervous, maybe a bit anxious of traveling on their own. So we're actually offering a concierge service whereby you connect to us, we will assign you a person that will be your concierge effectively. So kind of your personal VIP PA really to a certain degree. And they're going to work with you in terms of your travel arrangements. They're going to help you find the travel arrangements. We can arrange for you to be collected when you arrive in the UK, either Heathrow generally or Bristol. So we can get transportation from there, taking you to the hotel, get you checked in, making sure you're happy. So all of the pre-flight nerves and anxiety hopefully is removed. And then that person's going to also be available to pick you up from the hotel, to bring you to the castle every day, take you home. So we're kind of looking at covering everything so that all you need to do is literally jump on a plane in your country on your end. And once you arrive in the UK, everything else is sorted by us basically for you, which we know is quite a big ask for many people coming on because they're traveling on your own. But of course, there are people traveling. There could be people traveling from your country that you can tie up with. And we found on previous courses, I think, haven't we, that people can arrange their transportation to meet at Heathrow. So lots of people end up meeting there together and then they travel down here to Wiltshire in kind of convoy. So there's different ways of doing things, but the concierge service is a VIP treatment that we're putting on to ensure that we make things as easy as possible, really.
And that's what we're doing for everybody. We're looking to up the standards that we could possibly have, making sure that you get the smoothest and the easiest experience that you get when you come and do your training with us. So as Andy said, you will be assigned a person that is there to make sure that you have a smooth journey. You can come, once you land, you can meet up with others, as Andy said. A few people have done that before and hired cars and come in. And they now have lifelong friends and a real tight-knit group community within our own academy community. So it can help to cement that, but if you do require the support, if you do want someone to come and collect you that's personal to you, then we can certainly arrange that as well. So lots of things happening. We've got that course in August, as I said. Applications are open. It is going to be a small personal course because we are holding it in the castle. But if you are interested, then really we are needing to get your application through as quickly as possible for that so that we can process it. And for everybody else, those that want to do the online course, September. The September course is proving very, very successful. We've got, well, in fact, we have Ruth going through the certification process now for people that have gone through the online course. It was, what was it before, 10 to 12 weeks, I think it was for the course. We've now brought that down to 8 weeks. We've made it a lot shorter. Once we've got things rolling, once we've ironed out the creases, we've brought that down to 8 weeks. We have some fantastic practitioners coming through that have done the online training this year. And as I say, Ruth is literally just out of my eye shot, but she is now getting the certificates ready. Andy and I signed some earlier today.
You can come and wave, Ruth.
And they'll be going out in the post very, very soon. And for those that don't know, this is Ruth. This is our Ruth.
Hi.
That was a quick, short.
That was a very quick and short. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. She's our academy wife. She's the one that tells us what to do, leaves post-it notes on our screens, do this, do this, do this. She's absolutely brilliant, but she's made a huge positive impact into the academy and certainly making our work a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, really. I think in that kind of gap where we haven't been on podcasts, there's been so many things happening behind the scenes. And again, you know, we're very fortunate. We have some amazing people working with us. We've got Natasha, Tara, obviously Ruth, Dave, Julia, Ollie. So we've got a very good core team of people now that basically all have the aspiration and the motivation to make SRA a phenomenal success. And that's where we're being driven. And I think we talk about it and we laugh, don't we, with the spirit-inspired conversation, because effectively it is spirit-inspired. We are being driven by spirit every single day, continually. And obviously with the things that are going on across the world that we all know, there is this level of negativity that we see and we're concerned about. You know, the understanding that we have from spirit, from Terry, is we need to build practitioner teams as fast as possible, ready for what he calls a tsunami. So we're looking to kind of basically pull you guys in as fast as we possibly can. And as Jonno says, this is why we've changed our training methods to make this whole process faster, slicker, quicker, because we need more practitioners, because we are being given the heads up from spirit that there is, as they say, a tsunami coming, and we need to be ready for it, basically. So it's part of the reason that we've been quiet for quite a long time, is that we haven't been sat around drinking coffee, although we do drink a fair bit of coffee. We have been beavering away behind the scenes as fast as we possibly can to create all of the background processes that we need to be able to train people very quickly.
And those processes aren't always easy. The end result may look slick and easy to use, but getting there can sometimes be a bit of a task. So it is important that we have the right people working with us at the right times, doing the right job. And that also means that we can start looking forward to the future as well, because there are other things happening with Andy and myself, which will be representative of the academy, and that will come out in future times. But if you are out there and perhaps you think that this work isn't for you, but you can help the academy in certain ways, again, please contact us, because there are things happening where we will need to expand and pull people in to help run the academy smoothly and professionally. So that is going to be a huge, huge, huge journey for us over the next few months, we believe.
Yeah, perfect. I think I'm just going to say hello to the various people on this. I know this was a bit of an impromptu time, really, so you guys have done well to catch us going live, which is good. So I was going to say hi to Agatha, Dave, Ashley, Polly, I think, Ashley, another Ashley, Mimi, and also Matt. I think that's probably covered most of you guys that have put something in the comments that we've actually seen, which is good. Yeah. Because we're so busy focused on the screen, we tend to miss the comments.
We don't see people.
But of course, that's the authentic part of the way that we work. You know, we've never looked at kind of a corporate appeal. We don't want to be corporate people. We kind of want to be real, authentic people that kind of do things in the right way. And that's why when we have these podcasts and conversations and things go wrong or we miss things or we laugh about things, it is about just being real, I think, really. And certainly, it's certainly one of our kind of mantras, our mission statement, I guess, is to hold integrity and authenticity. And sometimes that means that when there are things that don't quite work, or we miss the comments, then we kind of acknowledge that. And obviously we sit around and laugh, which is good because, as we know, laughter raises the vibration. Just going to say hi to Julia. She's just dropped in as well. Good to see you.
And also, Matt, let's drop a couple of names. Matt, you will hear Matt's work when we release the podcast next week. You'll hear Matt's work. Matt is a fantastic facilitator with the Academy, but also he's a professional sound engineer, so he's helped us. I also want to just say hello to Ashley. Ashley, I met on my recent trip to America, and it was absolutely fabulous meeting her and her mum, as well as Lisa. And it's really great that we can sort of go abroad and meet up with the practitioners and those that have come through the Academy teaching, to see them face to face and to actually say hello was a absolutely humbling experience, and it was absolutely brilliant. So we also have Polly coming in. Polly's always around. Polly is a fantastic medium, got a lot of experience, and she's a great medium practitioner coming through as well. Look, we've got Agata. Agata is incredible. Agata is in Singapore. It doesn't matter what time it is, Agata is always on screen. So when we did our online training and Agata came through as a facilitator, it was something like 3:30 in the morning, and Agata was on screen all the time, learning. She's very driven, very, very driven in doing this work as best as she possibly can. She's absolutely brilliant. And of course, we've got Dave there. Dave saying hi. Dave is one of our assessors. For those of you that are lucky enough to come through the training and have Dave as an assessor, you know about him, you know what he's like. And Ashley, the only thing I can say to you is Sasquatch, because every time we talk about that.
Sasquatch, that's the common thread, basically.
Yeah, we always talk about Bigfoot. So
you have got big feet, mate, to be fair.
So yeah, not as big as the Bigfoot one, but yeah, and I look forward to having those conversations with you again. Brilliant.
Cool. I think that probably concludes this intro. Have we missed anything, Ruth?
I don't think so. No, I think you've covered it all.
Oh, look at that. So we get a thumbs up from Ruth. That's always good.
Yeah. So we just wanted to come on and have a very quick live, just to say that look out for the podcast. They're being released next week, and we are going to start pushing the adverts out so you can see them. Please come in and support them. Sovereign Souls. They'll be available on all platforms. Sponsored by the Spirit Release Academy. And again, it's about exposing the practitioner work to get this out into the mental health and anxiety sectors. There's so many people out there that could do with the benefit of having the professional clearing, but they don't know that it's there. So it really is out there to expose the work, and any support we can get with that would be greatly received.
I think it's worth saying as well to anyone that's watching this that is a practitioner, the whole point of this podcast, the Sovereign Souls podcast, is that we interview and have a podcast with other people. So we did a podcast this morning with someone that was really interesting. Again, not maybe exactly in the same field as us, but doing the same sort of work. So we're looking to bring people on our podcast, the Sovereign Souls podcast, that we can talk about the work that they do. And we're looking to try and collaborate with different people in different sectors, and obviously certainly in the mental health area. So if you're watching this and you're in the mental health area, or you have a podcast yourself, or you're an influencer of different people and you want to connect and have a chat with us, then please just drop us an email, contact@spiritreleaseacademy.com, and Ruth will pick that up, and then we can get in contact and we can see if we can come up with a podcast together and collaborate, which would be good.
So Ashley, please contact Ruth. We're definitely interested in that. And I've just seen the second Ashley's comment as well, with the feet coming onto the screen.
I thought that was two beers to start with.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a podcast about Bigfoot with Ashley. But yeah, definitely. So really, what we'd like you to think about is that the training we give is exclusive to the Spirit Release Academy. We have our own unique protocol, spirit-guided, remote spirit release, which is protected by the Academy. The trainers, myself and Andy, we have over 40 years experience in this field. When we teach, we don't teach from a manual, we teach from experience. We teach from our guides. We teach by going out there and doing thousands upon thousands of cases over 20 years. All the difficulties that we've brought through is you will see the benefit of how we've overcome those obstacles. There is a huge difference in the training that we give. This is why we're looking for elite practitioners to come through. That elite role is our responsibility. Your responsibility is to come in, enjoy the training, and be dedicated to helping people that are vulnerable. It's our job to make sure that we hit the standards that we want to get to. And this is why we have our assessors. This is why we have ongoing training. And this is why after even the certification, we have ongoing training on Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's always to keep that level high so that the standard never slips.
Yeah, I think it's fair. That's a good point, mate, actually. I think it's fair to say that when you come on the course, it's not a course that you come on and then you go home and that's the end. That is the start. When you go home, you're starting the journey with us and with this community. And this community has now got over 60, 70 practitioners in, all of which are in different stages, most of which are actually certified. So you're working with some very high level people. And as Jonno says, we consider ourselves to be elite in the work that we do. We set the bar high. We expect people to be very, very good. And we're only happy to certify people that meet the right standards, because it needs to be a safe practice. It needs to be a practice done in the right way with the right integrity. And we want practitioners speaking their truth and working from the highest place. And that is the whole kind of drive really from Terry primarily, and ourselves, of course, for the Academy, is that this isn't just a training course that you come on. This is life work that you're joining, and a community for life if you want to be part of that. And as Jonno says, you know, there are some friendships that have happened behind the scenes that we love to see, really, because you see people that meet each other. As you said, even at Heathrow, they jump in a cab together from different parts of the world, and those friendships are cemented and have stayed together for the course of certainly the last couple of years that we've seen, which is, you know, it's a lovely place to be, really, that we can facilitate people being able to meet people just like you. And this is about a family and a community of people doing the same thing, with the same aspirations, working in the same way. And we're fortunate enough to be able to facilitate that through the Academy, really.
So we will be back on here more regularly. We'll come back and talk about the different modules that we do the way that we used to. We'll have people coming on and having chats with us. Everything is going to start going back to how we used to do it. It's just that we needed that break just so we can concentrate on the behind the scenes work and getting it to the levels and standards that we demand, really. So just to recap, if you are interested, we have our Sovereign Souls podcast, which is being dropped next week on all platforms. We also have our in-person training at the castle. This is in August, and you are very welcome to apply for that, but we do need to get that going. We do have a couple of spaces left, but the application process is open. And for those of you that want to do it from the comfort of your own home, we have the online course, which is going out in September. Lots of things happening. If you check the website, there are more courses coming out. There's other things to add into it as well. We also have the introduction to spirituality for those that want to learn and see some of the terminology and definitions of the way that we work. And we also have a psychic protection course on there as well, which of course is at the forefront of our work within the Academy.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything, really, from my perspective, probably, and yours, mate, really.
So we will wish you a happy Friday. We will look forward to coming back on here more regularly. And I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.
Cheers, folks. Bye-bye. Bye from Ruth.
Bye.